So here we go, and we're just gonna focus on cutting the upper part of this corset right now. Okay, every other thing else is going to be a summary, and this is all we need. All right, I have my corset cup right here. All right, this is how it comes, very straight. So if I want to cut a sweetheart neck right now, I'm going to have to rotate the cup the way I want it. Okay, if I want to space it, I can space it if I want. If I want them to be close to each other, I can do that. And also, you're going to need a hemming gum. Okay, if you want a corset cup to come out very good and very well sealed without any squeeze, this is you're gonna have to place hemming gum on here on this upper part of it, and then also around the tip, so that the whole material can really place the stuff very well. Okay, so if you want to cut a corset cup, we're going to start by cutting the main body of the material first. Okay, this is the body of the material, and it's where we're going to start from. So I have a material that is up to 60 by 60. So instead of cutting the front and back separately, I'm just going to cut them together. Okay, after all, the whole thing is going to be straight. Okay, so when you fold the two material together, all right, we're going to consider this part here as the zip allowance. Okay, this side is going to be the zip area. Then we're going to bring the other edge close. All right, so you can see the measurement right there. Okay, the bust is 40 and the breast length is 14 and a half, but we are making it 14 exactly. Okay, because we want the corset cup to really lift the person's bust up. And also you can see the shape is 32. That's pretty much an average measurement. Okay, so this is where we start from right now, and we start with the drafting and the cutting process. All right, so you're going to measure whatever the person's shoulder measurement is. Okay, don't worry, just mark that shoulder measurement right here. Okay, you can see that right now. When you mark the shoulder measurement, just about 3 inches from that place, you're going to mark here. So right now the bust come right under that place. Okay, since the bust is 40 and this particular material is a slacky material, we're going to reduce it by 1 inches. So I'm marking 39 right here. Then I'll bring 32 down here. Okay, that is the under bust. All right, and this is the main bust. So you connect this part. Whatever the joining of the shoulder is going to be, for example, you want the shoulder joining from the corset cup to be like 6 inches or 5 inches, then you're going to place the 5 inches on top of the material from here. All right, then you mark your half length. If you see it on the picture right there, there's a V, and the V actually end right in front of the person's crotch. Okay, so from there now we're just gonna say like we're using 26. Okay, so like we're using 26 length right now, like the real bust, the real blouse length right now. So from there you just cut it straight. Okay, do not mark the V during your cutting process and cut the place. No, just cut normal, normal upper part, like you're not going to add that V at all, just cut it like that. So from here you can make the hip area, which is 44. The hip is 44, so you can cut this place right now 41, since the material is lacking. So you connect that place with the shape. All right, so now that you're done with that, this place here is just a little armpit. Then you add an allowance. All right, you add an allowance to it. Okay, this is an allowance right now, of which at the end when I'm sewing, it's not going to be as big as this. All right, why? Because I'm still going to have to split this place. So right now, let's get our corset cup. We have the corset cup right here, and this is the two of the corset cup, and here we go. This place together, and I just mark the place. Okay, so I'm going to place it here and you see what it's like. If I want the croset cup to be straight, kind of croset cup, I will do it. If I want it to be sweetheart, then that way you have to rotate the croset cup this way. Okay, the kind of shape you want it to maintain depends on how you rotate the angles. Okay, so if you want it to be straight, this is it, and if you want it to have a sweetheart neck, this is how it's going to be. So in that case, our croset cup is going to be here, and we're going to mark this place round. All right, we're going to mark this place round. I'm using chalk because this is just a lecture. All right, so we're going to mark this place round, which means this place is going out of the cloth letter. Okay, you see what we got right now. So when you want to cut this particular place, you're not going to cut exactly where the chalk is. You need to push your hand in by 1 inches or even half. Okay, this is where you're going to cut. When you want to cut this, you're going to cut the second line, not this first one. This first one is just where you use to get the gauge of the croset, but this second one is where you're cutting. You're going to need an allowance, and the same thing when you're sealing this one, you're going to extend an allowance that you're going to use to join this place together. Okay, so right now we're just going to cut out this whole place. All right, when we finish cutting the place, we'll also divide here. Okay, you have to divide this one place. So when you divide this place, this is where the first ribbon follows, and there's another one in the center, and the next one is going around the armpit area. Okay, so we're just going to cut the shapes out right now. You first of all cut this side straight. And this is what you need to know. All right, if you want to cut this particular round right now, you have to split here, and when you want to split the place, you have to split the back separately from the front. And then also, you know the kind of shape you want the front to be, so you have to cut the middle. You have to separate here to this place before you trim this part out. Then you're going to cut from here. This is it. Then before you cut out this whole place. Okay, so you see it right now. Then this is the croset right now. This is how you're going to place it on top of it. All right, by the time you ship these ones in, they are together. During the sewing process, this whole place is still enough for the croset to fit in. Okay, you see what that looks like right now, and we're going to focus on how to cut the croset shield right now, since we're done with this part of the body. So I'll spray the front right now so you see what it looks like. So this is the side of the croset. All right, this is the side of the croset. You see it right now, and let's just assume we join it together right now and they're on top of each other. Okay, this is how the first croset comes on top of it. All right, this is how the first croset comes on top of it. Okay, assuming I've put the second side right now, the second croset, get back here, and you can see you achieve the sweetheart neck. You can see it right on the picture over there. All right, so we're going to go into the cutting process of the croset shield right now. So we're going to cut the croset shield in a very simple formula right now. And first of all, I have this material I folded into two. Okay, and there are two of them. Okay, which means they are in 4 pieces right now by the time I finish cutting. All right, so first of all, you're going to measure the length of this whole croset by extending 1 inches out. All right, so you're going to measure it round and also extend another 1 inches out here. Okay, so the whole length now is 8 inches. Then you fold the crochet into two. All right, you notch the center here, and the same thing happened here. All right, so now this crochet doesn't have to be flat on the surface if you don't want it to be flat. Okay, during your sewing process you can decide to lift it up depending on how busty the person is. If the person is not very busty, you can expand it and make it a little bit flat. Okay, so right now we're using this length we have here, 8 inches, to mark the length of this place. Okay, so we have that 8 inches right here. All right, so we mark the 8 inches. Remember that 8 inches, it's plus 2 allowance, 2 inches allowance, which means there's 1 inch allowance at the upper side and another 1 inch allowance downside. Okay, so now from this line you're going to mark 1 inches. Okay, you mark 1 inches, you bring the tape up here again and mark 1 inches. Then try to locate the center of that 8. So if you want to locate the center of the 8, it's going to be 4 inches, right? So you have the 4 inches right here where this arrow is. All right, so now from this 1 inches, try to curve that line and end it immediately where the arrow is. Okay, in the center. That's what you're going to do. Take that line straight from that place to the center. You know, if you're trying this, it might not come out the way you want it, but just keep trying it. So from here again, you take this second line back to that arrow again. All right, so now that you have done that, if you place the center of this crochet here right now, and this whole center is here too, all right, just from here you're going to cut this place straight. Okay, so let's mark here. All right, just we're going to cut this whole place out. Okay, so we first of all start by cutting out this place first. We just cut out the whole circle round. So now that we are done doing that, all right, so the next one I'm going to cut again now, okay, from this material is the lining, okay, to turn it in. Okay, so we're done cutting that, and now that you have cut it, all right, wherever you want your up to be right now, okay, here and here are all the same measurement. So if you want the upper part to be here or here, so you're going to have to put a sign there, okay, to let you know that this is the upper part of this. Okay, by putting something like that there to signify the upper side and the lower side. So now what we're going to do right now, it is set. Okay, we're just going to go and join this place right now. You're going to join this place first for you to check this cross set if it matches this particular thing. For me, I can just go straight with my lecture, but for you, you have to try it if it's really going to fit. If it's not going to fit, you have to lose it and retrim it again, because first of all, this is a lecture, and if you want to join it, you have to use a long stitch, okay, so that it will be easy for you to lose without ruffling the material. Okay, so here we go. In first attempt, mine was okay. All right, so if I use iron to press this right now, you're going to see how great it comes. So when it comes out that way, like I tell you, you're going to need a hemming gum. When you finish joining this whole thing, you're going to have to put a hemming gum up here so that the center can really match very well. And before you do all that, you have to open this place so that it will be neat. It will be neat on the outside. All right, so when you do that and you put a hemming gum right on this line from this place to this place, that way the center will be able to be well slipped on top of it. Then right here you sew this place round. When you finish sewing the place round, you see how it's going to be out here, and we cut it. So this is the one side of the breast that I've already fixed the material on the inside. Like I told you guys, you're going to open the inside. All right, the joining on the inside, you're going to open it. Then you cut something like this in this oval shape. This is a cloth gum or an ST. You're going to place it from the under breast where the corset is going to start from. You're going to place it there and also hold the open down with the iron. So you can see how neat it is on the outside. Okay, even without the corset, it's looking okay right now. Then this is the corset. You can see at the edge I place hemming gum at the edge of the corset cup. So you're going to need more of that hemming gum to place on the center. All right, you're going to place more on the center. If you have something like this, you can place the corset on top of it. All right, when you place the corset on top of it, remember this place that we notch the first time is the upper part of the corset. So you're going to now place that part on top of it. All right, so you see, this is it right now. Then you're going to use an iron to bring it down. So this is what we're going to do now. You're going to trim this place out, and as you're trimming it, don't forget the allowance for joining it on the other side of the body. So this is the corset, this is the inside, and this is it. All right, so I'm going to bring the second one now, place it on the ground, and you see how it looks like. Okay, so this is the two corsets and this is the inside. I have joined the linings. All right, and I'll be using each one of the lining to turn this place, and when I turn it inside out, I'm going to sew here, of which I'm going to fix here. And right now you see I have joined the lines. Okay, so this is the line from the corset, but we're not really following that line to fix this division, okay, because this division is just serving as a design on top of it. And also this particular lecture is not a sewing process, it's a cutting process actually, but that doesn't mean I cannot guide the sewing process also. So now if you place this division, like I tell you, and you want to fix a bone inside it, okay, so what you need to do, you need to sew the side of this. If you sew this side and this side, you're going to put the bone through here. You know you're not going to sew this edge, so this is where you're going to put the bone through. Okay, so since I'm having something like this right now, I'm going to have these three lines, and this one is going to make it the fourth. Okay, this is going to make it the fourth, while this one make the last side the fifth line of this material. So if I want to fix this bone to this particular idea right now, if you're sewing this style exactly like this, you want to fix this bone, it would be very nice for you to put in the center. You have to let this one be the way it is, okay, and put the next fishing bone here, because the main reason of fixing this bone mostly is for the bone to suspend the upper side of the dress. Okay, even you're sewing wedding gown, that's the same idea they use in sewing it. And then if you do that, since we're gonna have to cut this place to this V, okay, you need to watch out where the cutting is coming here, so that when you're fixing this particular one, you can stop at that particular point. Okay, and I not say if you want to put here, you're not allowed to put there. If you have a lot of this and you want to put it everywhere, you're free to do that. Okay, I'm just telling you that in case you don't, the best idea to do it, you're supposed to put here, ignore these two and put on the last side so that they can hold the material on the person's body very well. Okay, so this here we're going to do right now, we're gonna fix this on the body. All right, this is where this one is going to be. All right, and we have the next one coming here. All right, I'll have to join this middle here right now because you see what the style right there is looking like. I'll have to sew here, and you see the neck is just one side plus the sleeve. So this is what I'm trying to do. When I finish joining this whole front now and I'm done with it, I'm going to let you guys see what it also look like. I'll finish joining this. I'm going to cut the lining one way. So you can see this is the lining right now. Okay, so even when you finish preparing the whole front and you finish fixing the corset, well, it's not bad if you also want to put a hemming gum right here and make sure that this particular upper body, this main material, slip on the lining very well. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still do that if you want.